Wild calls this morning, wild stuff going on this morning. This is not a Dillon Gabriel versus Shedeur Sanders argument. This is whether or not you think that the Browns are holding him back and whether or not you agree that the Browns are holding him back. And by the way, the stuff about Dillon Gabriel, I'm absolutely being not fair to Dillon Gabriel. I'm being hard on Dillon Gabriel because he's the guy they keep rolling out there. He's not ready. Scott, on an email, back off your attacks on Gabriel. It's getting personal. It's small market. I said, if you have a price, then he mentions Lima about being small. Lima's 5'10".
5'11".
5'11".
What, am I shrinking already?
Lima's not a small person.
Years.
He's small sitting next to me, but Lima's not a small guy. But I said very succinctly, and you might have an email coming to you. I said, if you got a problem with Lima, you got to email him. Thank you very much for listening.
By the way, lats were looking good yesterday in the weight room. Getting back finally. Finally, the kids were holding me back.
Congratulations on all your success.
For 2 years. 2.5 years.
Are you tanning?
No. Then you'll know. Then you'll know I'll have wandering eyes once the tanning starts.
That was my favorite thing. We used to know.
I was wondering, what could that possibly be?
We used to know a 60-year-old guy, and he goes, he works out and he tans. What do you think he's trying to do? I went, oh, I didn't realize that. Oh. Does the missus know? And he goes, I don't know if she knows, and he probably doesn't care. Lima knows people very, very, very well. All right. I think we're forced to be hard on Dillon Gabriel. He's the guy that's out there when we see him, we're watching on TV. And he's put in an impossible position. They're not good. He can't get over them. He can't get them past that wall. He can't get them to carry them forward. I mean, it would take a Herculean effort. Like, the offense isn't good. The offensive line is bad. You got 3 pieces there. You need 5. Jack Conklin's chasing people around. He ain't got it anymore. Your left tackle situation, that's a revolving door. Your interior, I'd like to probably sign Wyatt Teller to an extension because that at least makes it a little bit easier to replace the other pieces. I think Luke Whippler's going to take over probably as a center. You know, he might have to take over as a guard. You might have to sign Ethan Posick to an extension because Luke Whippler has played a little bit at that guard spot, so you might need Ethan Posick to do that because I think Joel Bitonio is going to retire after this year. Most people think Joel Bitonio is going to retire after this year. So you're putting Dillon Gabriel in really a disadvantage here. This whole thing has been set up badly. And you're the ones who deal with it. Dillon Gabriel might pay with his career, for crying out loud, but you guys are the ones paying for it. None of it's sensical. And when it gets to Shedeur, I know you're having it out with Nick online, so I hope he repays the favor during his show. I know you're having it out with Nick online. Like, hey, man, I would, like, going back to the last caller, I would love to fight you about the Shedeur Sanders stuff. I can't. I know from experience over the last 14 years. I know that there are Shedeur fans just listening, just getting into it. This is old hat. Quarterback stuff is old hat for us. Hell, half you guys by this age are born into it now. It's been going on since 99. So we all know what's going on or what's gone on here before, and you go back from your previous history. Players do that. And I let you talk. I'll say this about the last caller, and we'll get to the other callers. When you say, well, players aren't going to out and out demand that another guy plays, they don't want to rock that boat. Of course. But you know damn well. Sources tell us this. Sources. What do you think the sources are? And if the sources are the agent, who's telling the agents? We're hearing none of that yet.
Nope.
I wish we were. Guys, I wish we were. I really wish we were. I would love to stand here and go, his teammates are saying how much better he is. We got unnamed sources saying how much better he is. What's holding them back? Why isn't he playing? Why isn't a guy who was projected to go in the top 5 not playing? Answer me that. Riddle me that. Why is he not playing? He needs to be out there. Why is he not playing? I'm tired of watching this offense struggle. I'm tired of watching this guy be shoved right down to the ground on every single play. I'm tired of him looking away from wide receivers. I'm tired of him being afraid to throw the football down the field. Why isn't he playing? I'm not hearing anything about it. I'm not hearing anything about it. Everybody says he looks good in the 15 minutes of open practice that you get, but I'm hearing nothing about the offense. Please, I'm begging you, give me something to latch on to.
And there's nothing like wait till you see what it's going to be when he takes over.
Guys, I've watched 4 weeks. Is it 4 or 5 games? 5 games. I watched 5 games of this. You think I wouldn't take that and run as fast and as loud as I possibly could? That Shedeur Sanders was doing very, very well in practice, and that his teammates or unnamed sources would rather have him out there in the field than Dylan Gabriel? I'd scream from the rooftops.
You don't think Josina Anderson would have already put out a 3,000-worded confusing tweet that Shedeur is turning heads and the players are ready to back him into war?
Please.
I haven't seen heard that.
I need it like air. I need it like air because I need to see him before it's all said and done this year. I want to see him way before. I do not want to see Bailey Zappi. I don't want to see Bailey Zappi. My whole point of Bailey Zappi is that if you're going to if you really don't believe that Shedeur is there, I'm talking to the Browns, if you really don't believe Shedeur is ready to go, then you're going to have to put Bailey Zappi in there because this is getting to a point that's untenable. Just untenable. I mean, I got nothing personal against Dylan Gabriel for crying out loud. I think some of you guys got something personal against Shedeur Sanders, so you've become some sort of defender of Dylan Gabriel when you guys know damn well what you're watching
is bizarre.
Is terrible. What you're watching is terrible. Either he's bad or they're putting him in a bad position. Either way, he ain't ready, and it's got to stop. It was the Jets on Sunday for crying out loud.
They lost to the Jets.
Scott in Cleveland, hello.
Ken, I love you. Take a breath. We're going to woosah here for a minute, my man.
What's going on?
Anthony, we as Browns fans have been accustomed to this heartache and heartbreak since '99, my brother. I'm telling you right now, the Browns would perform better with you at left tackle or right tackle on any given Sunday, Thursday, or Monday. It doesn't matter. You're better than Cam Robinson out there. Jack Conklin, you just spoke about it, running around chasing guys. Listen, we as I can't say we because I'm not part of the organization. So
you feel like you're part of the organization. You're a fan. You can say we. Come on, let's not get crazy.
Okay, we're invested in this, man, right?
Of course you are, yes.
And we've seen it over and over. The only quarterback Andrew Berry has drafted before these two is DTR. And what did we do with him? We threw him in before he was ready. We have a consistent problem of putting these guys in before they're ready, and we did not do anything to protect Flacco. We didn't do anything to protect Gabriel. Now, listen, my immediate approach to your call screener was that you're wrong, right? But listen, let's take a step back because you have touched on this now so much. Gabriel doesn't have the time to even let a route manifest. He doesn't have that time. Anthony, you spoke about how his confidence looked better to run the damn ball. You got to run the ball because you ain't got time to throw a deep route. We can't hit these deep throws. But I also want to say this in finishing. I pray that we don't start Shedeur, and here is why. I think Barry did a good job with this last draft. Guys, we threw 3 years away with Deshaun. Let's face it. We gave up years of picks. We failed. Okay, that was a swing and a miss, like Haslam said. But I think, and as hard as it is, we've got to give this regime one more year. You got to let them come back next year because I think you've got to literally take both first-round picks. I don't care. Get the best tackles you can get. If you've got Zach Zinner, who's been not dressing, that can play center, which I've heard talk said he might be a better center in this type of offense than a guard.
I don't know where we can put Zach Zinner anywhere. I mean, you can't even keep him active. Like, I don't know what's going on there. I can't. I don't even want to speculate. I have no idea what's going on.
Fair enough. I think we've got to give them one more year, and my hopes are that we do something that the Browns have never done, Ken. Let a quarterback sit for the entire year. Let the game maybe slow down. I don't think the game is too big for Gabriel, but I don't think he's big enough for the game. That's all I've got to say. Let Shedeur sit. Let him come in next year. Maybe we draft a quarterback next year. But we've only taken DTR in the 5th round, Shedeur in the 5th, Gabriel in the 3rd under Andrew Berry. Give these guys one more year. This is heartbreak right now. It is. We wasted youth in Chubb. We wasted youth in Denzel. We've wasted youth in a lot of these players. J.O.K., who's hurt. Let's hope he can come back with Schlesinger. But I do think we have the makings of a team. And Sunday we didn't lose because of Gabriel. We lost because of special teams. Gabriel's just maybe not big enough for the game, but I don't think the game's too big enough.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point, Scott. Thank you very much for the call. I mean, I think big picture, it's like, well, you can't do anything without a quarterback, but you're right. Special teams was garbage. Great point. Thank you very much for the call, Scott. Yes, Owen.
Well, that doesn't take away. There was a lot of things that went wrong against the Jets on Sunday.
Yeah.
But he's right. Special teams put them in a hole, but it doesn't take away from Dylan not being able to get them out of a hole at all.
And the Jets defense is so bad. It is so
their top
bad.
pass rusher and their top secondary player.
And they were bad with those guys.
Yes.
You are right. You are right. And we thought, Will McDonald just breezing by people when we were like, hey, man, you should be able to run the ball. They're kind of thin. I mean, you got Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett, but he weighs 280 pounds, and you got 245 on the other side with the New York Jets. You figured, well, we should be able to kind of mow them down on the ground. No, you weren't able to do that because the offensive line isn't that great. But no, Scott's right. Like, that loss in particular is total team. But if we're talking big picture stuff, it's always going to start and finish with a quarterback. But Scott has his eyes right there. It's true. Like, I don't want the arguments. It's what we talk about because we've been looking for one for 40 years now. I mean, frankly, it's true. 35 at least. Your special teams is garbage. Bubba Ventrone deserves every single piece of criticism that's thrown at him. They've been bad all year. And to get ready for an opponent for 2 weeks and have that happen to you is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. That's right. Curtis in Omaha, Nebraska. You're next up on the fan.
Yeah, I'm with Scott, that last caller, about, the one thing we haven't done is let someone sit a whole year. And I'm all in favor of, as soon as he can get out there, letting Deshaun Watson finish out as much of the rest of this season as possible.
You're just trying to get me mad. You're just trying to get me mad, Curtis.
I'm not trying to get you mad. I agree with you that, nothing good will come out of starting Deshaun Watson, but nothing good comes out of starting anyone else either. Because, there was that theory that, I'm totally drawing a blank. Back in '99, Tim Couch, right, could have been good, except he got destroyed by the team around him. Mm-hmm. That's what we're seeing by Dylan Gabriel. This team is costing him his pension if he's supposed to be a career backup. And it's not going to do it's not going to do Shedeur Sanders any favors either. I would love to have ridden out the season with Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco, because we're not going to lose anything by letting them guys go down with this Edmund Fitzgerald. But so let Deshaun do it. Let him take the blows.
I'll
that's
tell you.
the best way to make the season forgettable.
You do listen, don't you, Curtis? Damn you. Okay.
What do I do? I guess I'm a bad boy.
Oh, you're fine.
You made me do this, you bitch.
Fine. That's enough.
I got a drop for you here, Curtis.
Oh, my God in heaven. Sweet chin music. It is a do it.
The sitting a whole thing, though?
No.
And that means also bypassing a quarterback with both of your first round picks next year. That to me would make the Browns look even worse. Like a 5th round pick, you're saving. You're giving a
I'm getting crazy again. I told you I'm getting crazy
again. You don't
again.
stash 5th round picks to be your guaranteed starter.
I want to see Shedeur
This is something you do with pick 26 when you had a guy who's been a 12-year starter and he's at the end.
Yeah, you don't do it
why I want to see
for a guy nobody wanted.
I'll say this real quick here. Let me say this real quick to you guys, and this is going to be a very unpopular thing to say. What does the NFL think of Shedeur Sanders? Then not much, right? Not much. Okay. Do you think that they're going to make a house cleaning at the end of this year?
I think they should.
Okay. Do you think they will?
I don't know.
What's your chances? I think the chances are high.
I don't know.
I mean, we're not even at Thanksgiving yet, and we're at each other's throats here. I think they'll probably make a house cleaning at the end of the year. Oh, and you would probably agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if they make a house cleaning at the end of the year, we have to see Shedeur Sanders for some period of time, of decent time, before the end of the year. Because I hate to break it to you guys, if he don't play, he ain't going to be on this roster next year. They're going to bring in new people. The NFL clearly does not think much of him. He is gone. He is gone because they're going to go and they're going to get, hopefully they'll get a veteran, and then they're going to go get a rookie, and they're not going to want him on their roster.
No.
It's going to be a new way of thinking. I guarantee you. As unfair and as terrible as that is, I can only tell you guys the truth. You know I'm telling you the truth. If they clean house, he is not going to be on this roster next year, and we will have never seen him get a chance with the Cleveland Browns. If this whole year is about evaluating quarterbacks, as warped as a way as they've done it, he's got to play before the end of the year, whether he's ready to or not.